Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. A lot has happened. I do want to give a couple disclaimers. This video is not going to be monetized. I don't know why I punched myself. What I'm about to talk about in this video, I literally don't give a single shit about profiting off of. Also, I know that some of you guys were like begging me for just like a positive and lighthearted video. I don't think that I'm at a place, at least like in this moment, that I can do that. If that's kind of what you're looking for right now, then you can just click off. I understand that social media 101 will tell you to basically not talk about anything that I'm about to talk about in this video, and I get that, but I can promise you, I don't know why I keep smacking, like, oh my god. I can promise you that I just don't care. I have to remain true to myself. For those of you that want to support me through that, then I would love for you to, but if you can't, I totally get it. I just wanted to get stuff kind of like off my chest, off my mind, so that I can just put it in the past and then move forward. With all that being said, I'm gonna start doing my makeup because I need some help. I did want this video to be like as normal as possible. I didn't just want to sit here and like talk to you the whole entire time. Also because I've looked like a left foot for the past 2.5 weeks. So I'm gonna put these glasses on and keep my hair out of my face while I'm trying to help myself. Oh, do you guys like my new backdrop? I've got puppies. I've got my boyfriend's bed. I do want this video to be normal, okay? I don't want it to be like super dramatic. I'm not trying to be like that girl, but I'm just trying to let you know what's been going on. Please forgive me. This probably doesn't match, but I haven't been out of the house in 17 days now, and I don't have any makeup here besides this small little makeup bag. So if it doesn't match, crucify me. I don't know. This is all I've got right now. Oh yeah, I already primed. I put like a pore filling primer here and a luminous primer here. You guys know what I do. I cannot believe how freaking terrible my skin looks. Holy shit, I feel like I was getting to like a better place. And for my next trick, I'll teach you how to not get out of bed for 4 days and not wash your face, and you can look just like me. Anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my clean, freshly washed hands, guys. When I say this, I mean the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in Sand Beige. Okay, where do we begin? So, I don't know if you guys saw my last video on March 7th. You will hear me make a very small comment. Unbeknownst to me, that small comment was going to be very indicative as to how my life was going to pan out in the weeks to follow. So basically, I invited my boyfriend Trevor over to help me film. He comes over, and I look at him, and I say, "Why are you breathing so heavy?" Little did I know that small comment was about to rock my whole world. I'm just gonna take a little bit of Shape Tape and I swear I wasn't meant to film this video. If you see the frame change, it's because it did. My battery died, and then I changed my battery, and then my memory card was full. Anyway, Tarte Shape Tape. You guys have to realize that there's a lot that goes into this story, but keeping people's privacy in this situation is of the utmost importance. I am going to speak on my boyfriend's behalf too, because I have permission to do this video and to speak about him. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to elaborate on like specific people and who they are. Not everyone wants to be like an open book and share their life on the internet, you know what I mean? So anyway, we get a phone call on Friday that someone that is near and dear to my boyfriend and I's hearts is sick in the hospital with pneumonia. Now, what was alarming about this phone call was the fact that not only was it pneumonia, it was double pneumonia, and this person was older. I'm just gently gonna set my under eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. Friday night rolls around and I have to start getting ready for work. For those of you that do not know, I work at a nightclub in Las Vegas, and I had to work that night. So as I'm getting ready for work, my boyfriend comes into the bathroom and he tells me, "I think I need to go to urgent care." And I look at him upside down and sideways because I'm like, "You what?" I've literally known this man for 5 years. I don't think he's ever been to a doctor. So that was kind of alarming to me. This is literally the only bronzer that I have right now. It's the Milani Baked Bronzer, and I know it's way too dark for me, but I guess we're gonna see how this goes. I feel like there's so many fun noises going on in this video. My stomach's growling. My dogs are snoring. If I'm not entertaining you, I hope the noises are. I'm also just gonna contour with these colors. This is the Anastasia Medium Contour Kit. So back to what I was saying. He goes to urgent care and he sees a doctor and they test him for the flu. The test comes back negative, but the doctor told my boyfriend that he was sure that he had the flu. They give him Tamiflu, they give him ibuprofen 800, and they sent him home. He comes home. At this point, I literally watched my boyfriend leave the bathroom, and from the bathroom to walking to the edge of the bed was out of breath. And I was like, I'm not going to work tonight. I'm just gonna stay here and take care of you. I kind of like knew that something was wrong. But you guys have to remember that all that I'm talking about right now was taking place on March 5th and 6th. That was a long time ago. So much has changed. It's actually unbelievable how much America has changed in this short amount of time. Saturday morning comes and we get another phone call from the person that has double pneumonia. And they tell us that apparently coronavirus can turn into pneumonia. So they're being tested for it. Now, of course the wheels are starting to spin in my head, but I'm thinking this is probably just like a really unfortunate coincidence that on the one hand we have someone very sick in the hospital with pneumonia, and then on the other hand my boyfriend has the flu. This has got to just be a coincidence. So Saturday night rolls around and I go to work on Saturday. Remember that. Sunday goes by, my boyfriend is not getting any better, he's actually getting worse, so I took off work on Sunday. Monday, we get a call. The person that has been in the hospital since Saturday morning at this point was confirmed with coronavirus. Coronavirus isn't supposed to be scary, right? Most people make it through. But as of this point in time, the people that weren't making it through were older, which this person was. It turned into severe cases of pneumonia, which this person had. I don't care what you believe in, and trust me, I've struggled for years with my relationship with the Lord and wondering, is anyone like actually out there? That moment brought not only my boyfriend, but me to my knees, and I just prayed to anyone that might hear me. That that person would be okay. Jesus Christ. I'm like, I don't want this video to be dramatic. Okay. You're killing it. After we got the call, we didn't really know what to do. We were still hoping that this was all just one big coincidence. Monday night rolls around and I take my boyfriend's temperature because I'm taking it constantly, and his temperature goes up to 103 degrees. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if it was just the breathing issues or if it was a combination of kind of like literal panic attacks, because getting that call was like pretty devastating for the both of us. But he was sitting on the edge of the bed, literally not being able to catch his breath, and I was like, forget it, we're done. Get in the car, I'm taking you to the emergency room. I actually called them when I was on my way and I let them know that we were coming. I said, hey, I just want to give you guys a heads up. My boyfriend's not doing well. He can't catch his breath. His fever's at 103. He's laying in a pool of literal sweat in the bed, yet he's shivering at the same time. I was like, something is very wrong. And I want to be open and honest with you and let you know that him and I have had close contact with someone that was just tested positive for coronavirus. I don't know how you guys handle that. I'm just letting you know I'm on my way. So we get to the hospital. As soon as we walk in the lobby, they put us in masks. They put on masks. They handled it very seriously. They said that this was actually their first potential case, which is crazy because this is on the 9th but it's just crazy like how quickly things have changed. So anyway, I wasn't showing any symptoms. They told me that I couldn't even stay there with him because he had to go into isolation by himself. They once again swabbed him for the flu. It came back negative, and then at that point they tested him for coronavirus. And they just gave him fluids, they gave him an IV. Unfortunately, like, there's nothing really that they can do for you. So they got him to a point where they felt like he was able to be sent home, and that was, I would say, maybe like 3 or 4 hours later. And then he called me and he told me that I could pick him back up and take him home. And now it's just a waiting game. I'm gonna do my brows really quickly off camera. This shit takes me forever, and then I'll be right back. Okay, this makeup literally sucks. You're gonna have to forgive me. For those of you that don't really give a shit about what I'm saying and actually want to just watch me do my makeup, I'm just going to take the Tati Beauty palette and I'm going to use the Soothe matte shade, and I'm going to put that all through my crease, and then I'm going to take the Ritual matte shade and I'm just going to use the same exact brush for both colors, but I'm just going to put this in my crease, and then I'm just going to put this on the outer corner, and then that's literally it. So Tuesday morning rolls around, and now this is March 10th, and my boyfriend gets a phone call, not from the person that's in the hospital, but from someone very close to this person, and is now told that they are so bad that doctors are probably going to have to put them into an induced coma because their lungs are completely filled with fluids. They're having so much difficulty breathing on their own. Their body is going through way too much stress. Their white blood cell count is so low that it was alarming, and they think that the only way to keep as much stress off of their body as possible is to now put them in an induced coma. And that is where my very vague Instagram post came from. It wasn't very prevalent in America yet. I think at this point in time there was around 1,000 cases in the whole United States. I think the thing that was like really getting to me the most, it wasn't the funny memes. I promise you that. I completely understand people needing to use humor as a way to cope with things. That's like the only way that I really cope with things is through humor. So like I trust me, I get it. But I think the thing that was bothering me the most was just the insensitivity that I saw of people reposting these meme quotes of statistics and of only this many people have died and it's not that serious and everyone just needs to move on, and the media is blowing it out of proportion and everyone's being so dramatic and this and that and the other. And yeah, I was being really sensitive because it was affecting me personally. It was just really hard to go on social media at that time and see people say like, this isn't a big deal, because even more than myself, like, take me out of the equation, I would have never in a million years gone on my Instagram and talked about how it's not a big deal that thousands of people are dying. Maybe I'm very different from people, but I would like to believe that I'm not. And I would like to believe that everyone would agree that, yeah, maybe only this many people in the world are dying from this. But to me, one is too many. I couldn't imagine posting something or posting a statistic and saying like, oh, this kills more and only this many people have died and this is the survival rate. Okay, well, unless the survival rate is 100%, then it's not okay. If you're not scared from this, then that's fine. But don't mock people that might be. You don't know what people are going through. And people just like so stupidly just post things all the time, and it's so insensitive. And trust me, I think a lot of people's tunes have changed since then. But for me, I was just like, how can you not look further than the mirror? You might be okay, but it's not about you. It's about the people that might not be okay and their families that have to deal with that. If one person passes away, it doesn't just affect that person, it affects everyone around them. Like, do you not get that? And I'm not saying you, meaning like you, I'm just saying, like, trust me, I'm not this like, oh, world peace, everybody get along, everyone like each other kind of girl. Like, I'm not. Trust me, I've got a laundry list of people I can't stand. But I couldn't fathom people treating it as if it was like a competition. Like, oh, okay, well, the flu has killed more and obesity has killed more and this has killed more. Why does that matter? People are dying. Yeah, most people will get through it. It's about the people that are not. That was where that came from. I'm gonna try to like gather my thoughts and calm down real quick. and I'm going to contour my nose and then I will be right back. My nose kind of looks like a muddy mess because I'm breaking out so badly on it. I can't get makeup to stick there for the life of me, but anyway. I feel like it's like super weird that I'm even doing my makeup while I'm telling you this story, but makeup just makes me happy and it's like therapeutic for me, so sorry. I feel like it's the only thing that's getting me through this whole video anyway, but I do agree that it's kind of weird that I'm like crying and then I'm like contour your nose and then I'm crying and then I'm like do your eyebrow. Anyway, this leads me to Thursday when my boyfriend finally got a call from the Nevada Health District that he was positive with coronavirus. Now, the only good news that came out of Thursday was that thankfully the person that has been in the hospital now since Saturday is doing so much better. Not to the point where they're ready to be released, but doing way better than they had previously. Now, up until this point, I was honest and open with everyone that I possibly could without sending everyone into like a fit of panic. I was on the phone with my boss. I was on the phone with my boss's boss. So was my boyfriend. You know, he was keeping everybody in the loop, as was I, just in case that call took place. My job was already well aware of everything that was going on. So was his. But what happens when you're tested positive is the Nevada Health District or whatever health district, you know, wherever you live, the health district goes down a list of questions, and one of the main things they want to know is who have you had close contact with. Obviously, myself being someone who has been caring for him since Thursday, and not only myself, but Trevor has a roommate, obviously his coworkers that he worked with on Friday. We had to tell everyone because I lived in the home and because his roommate lived in the home. We were both considered presumptive cases, and you're treated the same exact way as someone that is tested positive. None of us were allowed out of the house until further notice. You're allowed to seek legal help, you're allowed to seek medical help, and that's it. You know, upon hearing that news, obviously a million things are running through your head, but I think the hardest pill for me to swallow was the fact that I went to work on Saturday. I was so absolutely livid. I immediately hopped on the phone after he got the call, and I called the urgent care that my boyfriend went to, and I asked to speak to the doctor. I gave him a piece of my freaking mind. He had everything sitting right in front of him. Shortness of breath, fever, chills, body aches. Literally, textbook, every single symptom. And that doctor looked my boyfriend in the eyes and assured him that he had the flu, even after he tested negative for the flu. I was like, you have no idea what you have done. Not only did you put yourself at risk, I went to work on Saturday and I had contact with so many people. I was like, if you even said that it was a small possibility that it was coronavirus, I wouldn't have went to work. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not their fault. It's not his fault. It's not the hospital's fault that they're running out of masks and gloves and gowns and breathing machines and beds. It's not their fault that they don't have test kits. It's not their fault. How can I expect anyone to be good at their job without given the proper knowledge and the proper tools? The fact that 3 weeks ago, that's the scariest part. 3 weeks ago, my boyfriend walks into an urgent care with every symptom and is told, you just have the flu. It's just really disappointing. And I know that he's not the only one. I'm sure you guys know my roommate Mikey and her boyfriend Anthony. I work in Las Vegas and then I go to LA on my free time. That's the easiest way that I can explain it. The same exact thing happened to them. They had every single symptom under the sun. They went to urgent care. They both tested negative for the flu and they were both told, you just have the flu. And now they'll never even know. Why were we so unprepared? Why are people still walking into urgent cares and doctor's offices and emergency rooms with symptoms and being told we don't have enough kits? I can't imagine being a health professional and having to carry that burden of looking someone who's sick, dead in their face, and telling them there's not enough kits to test you. That's not okay. Everyone that is showing any symptoms should be able to get tested, not just severe symptoms, not just to the point where you have double pneumonia and you're in a hospital bed and then you've had contact with someone that's tested positive. That's not good enough. America knew this was going on in the world for months. Why was no one preparing for this? It's not fair to put that burden on medical professionals, people that we go to for help. It's not fair to give them the burden to look somebody in the eye and tell you, I can't test you because we're not prepared. How do you expect them to do their jobs when you don't give them the necessary tools to do so? These people are literally putting their lives at risk every single day to care for everybody. After the health district called me, obviously, and told me that I was being considered a presumptive case and that I was mandated to quarantine as well, I knew that I had no other choice but to just stay with him. I had already been with him. I wasn't gonna go somewhere else and then potentially get someone else sick. And at that time, he needed me. I knew I was just gonna stay here and take care of him, and that was fine. You know, I wasn't scared of me getting coronavirus. That was like the least of my worries at this point. So now, all that we're kind of both waiting for is for me to get sick and for him to get better. Well, literally the day that my boyfriend started feeling better is the day that I started getting sick. Things for me were very different. Mine just basically started off with a sore throat. I literally had a sore throat for like 2 days. I started to get a runny nose. I started to get kind of a bad cough. I was sneezing a lot. My neck was like literally killing me. It just felt super stiff. And then it wasn't until I would say the 3rd day that I really felt like I got hit by a bus. I just remember waking up with the most excruciating headache. It literally felt like someone was like driving a freaking hammer to my head. It was more like up here though. And then I started to notice that something was like really wrong. I had taken the dogs out and I walked downstairs and I was like panting for breath. Usually I lose my breath when I walk up the stairs, like that's not weird, but I was like, I think it's starting. So for 2 days, mine was pretty bad. It was just, you know, the same thing with kind of like when I would lay on my stomach, it just felt really heavy on my chest and it made it really hard to breathe. So I would lay on my side or I would lay on my stomach. I felt so drained and so exhausted to the point where I didn't even have enough strength to like get up and stand in a shower. And I love baths, but like a bath is not what I wanted. Like I just wanted to get all the sweat off of me, but I really only had it bad for like 2 days. So that's the bright side. The person I was referring to that was in the hospital, they're okay. I mean, that unfortunately turned into then their spouse testing positive and then their daughter testing positive and then their grandson testing positive, which was also very scary because, you know, he was only 7 years old and he already has really bad asthma. So for a while there, I felt like I was just living in a literal nightmare. I was like, can this actually get any worse? But thankfully, I can tell you guys that everyone is okay. I don't even think I told you guys how I ended up getting tested and how I was told I was positive. But essentially, the health district calls you every single day if you're a presumptive case and they check on you. When they finally called me and I was not doing so well, they ended up sending someone out to my house. So a lady from the health department ended up showing up to my house and they did the test right in this home. God, my days are literally so messed up. I don't even know what day it is anymore. That was on the 16th. They ended up calling me on that Wednesday and basically telling me what I already knew, that I was positive with freaking coronavirus. So yeah, everyone got through and we're all okay. And now I finally feel like I can like wake up from this freaking nightmare that's been my life. I'm gonna go quickly put on lashes because I feel like being extra right now, and I will be right back. Okay. So I just applied the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes and I put like a little bit of shimmer in the inner corner. I'm just gonna do my lips real quick and I'm gonna use Spice and Jeffree Star Mannequin. Maybe one day I'll switch it up, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay, I'm just gonna spray this with some Morphe setting mist because hopefully I can make this last as long as I can so I don't have to look like a foot anymore. Before I end the video, a couple things happened and I want to address them. I feel like it's something that I need to talk about, and it goes beyond him. While my boyfriend was sick and going through so much more even beyond him being sick, something was written on Facebook, and I'm going to post it so you guys can read it. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you probably saw that I went a little bit off the rocker when it happened. I don't even want to look at it right now because I'm just gonna it's just gonna put me into like another freaking fit. But it said something along the lines of like, leave it to a host to be the first person to get coronavirus. Don't they catch everything? Well, the host that person was talking about so happened to be my boyfriend. Regardless of who that person may have been speaking about, to sit there and mock someone or anyone because of a virus is so disgusting and wrong. My boyfriend was in bed, not able to defend himself, and you're literally mocking him for being sick as if he doesn't already feel like shit. As far as I'm concerned, that makes you really sick. And aside from all that, someone literally took a picture of my boyfriend, pictures of his social media, his first and last name, and once again put it on social media and said, Trevor Platt has coronavirus, stay away from him. If I want to tell you I have coronavirus, that's my prerogative. If my boyfriend wants to tell you that he's got coronavirus, that's his prerogative. And I'm making this video with his blessing, so that's a little different, but it is not anyone's job to put someone's picture and their first and last name on social media and say that such and such has coronavirus and to stay away from them. Trust me, you're not going to be a hero by putting someone's name on social media and doing that. I don't care if you think you're trying to help. That's really low, because trust me, no one needed to stay away from him. We were staying away from everyone. We did everything that we possibly could and have done everything that we possibly can to stay away from everyone, even before we knew that either of us were positive. So much to the point where his roommate is negative. And that's amazing news, because if you just listen to the simple things that are being asked of you, you can literally stop spreading the virus. We have been in a house with his roommate since the 5th, and he's negative because we're just following the rules. We're wiping surfaces if we touch them. We're washing our hands. We're staying away from him. Social distancing. We're literally staying away from the people in our home because we didn't want to infect anyone else. And that's what everyone needs to do. People aren't asking much of you. And if you are someone that's following the rules and you've done it with no questions asked, and you've been staying inside, and you've been losing your mind, and you've been washing your hands, and you've been doing all the things, thank you so much, seriously, because it might seem so little, but what you are doing is huge. But as far as the mocking people, as far as the putting people on blast that have a virus, that's not okay. You know, Mikey literally mentioned in one of her videos symptoms that she was feeling and saying that she was almost sure at this point that she actually had it as well. People are coming for her and saying, oh, you didn't have it. Well, first of all, she never got tested, so she doesn't know, and no one knows. But now we're like coronavirus shaming people? Is that what the world has come to now? Like, is that what we have to deal with in 2020, is coronavirus shaming? Even the freaking president of the goddamn United States of America right now is calling it the Chinese virus. Oh my God. As if the hate crimes that are going on with Asian people right now aren't enough. I have no words. The only words that I do have regarding the president and the people that are running our country right now is this. The government, they hold us accountable every single day. I think it's time that we start holding them accountable as well. And the only way, unfortunately, that we can do that is demand a change, because the shit that's going on right now is not okay. How this is all being handled is not okay. It's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared for something like this, and it's so disappointing. This has literally been going on for months. But the only way that we can see a change is with this new election coming up. Please inform yourself, get educated on the people that are running for this election, and please vote, because we really really need a change. And we don't have to agree on this. I know people are gonna come for me. I'm basically just canceling myself at this point, honestly. I know I'm not supposed to do anything that I've done in this video. I get it. I know I'm not supposed to cry on camera. I know I'm not supposed to act like hate gets to me. I know I'm not supposed to talk about politics and religion and all that. I get it. I understand that. If you don't want to follow me anymore, I understand. If this can bring any type of comfort, even though I know it wasn't the most positive video, I hope some of you feel comfort in the fact of just maybe seeing a familiar face. I know that a lot of fear comes from the unknown, and sometimes when you see someone actually like going through something, it kind of clicks. And like I said, I'm really sorry that if some of you guys saw that I uploaded and you got excited because you thought it was gonna be some happy, positive thing that you could get your mind off stuff. I'm really sorry. I feel like I'm always kind of the person that's always like laughing through everything and putting on a smiling face and trying to make light of things. But I think through all this, I'm realizing that like it's okay to not be okay. I don't always have to be the strong one. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not. And that's hard for me to admit. I am really scared. I hope this doesn't get any worse. I hope that no one has to go through anything I went through. I can't imagine the families that have it even way worse than him and I. I wish to God that I could have like went on camera and did like, you know, a silly video and tried to make everybody laugh and smile. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, like I wish that I could have been that for you. And I promise after this video, I will be that for you. I just had, oh my God. I just had to get this stuff off my chest and off my heart because it's been wearing on me like you wouldn't believe. The only thing that will make me happy through filming this video is just to make sure that you guys are okay. If you feel like you're alone in this, if you feel like you're scared, if you feel like you have no one to talk to, this video is for you. I want this video to come full circle. I don't want to leave on like a negative note, so excuse me for like 1 second and I'll be right back. I wanted to end this video on a positive note, and this is my boyfriend Trevor, for those of you that do not know.
Hi everybody.
I didn't want to just speak for him, I wanted us to both be here. Him and I obviously went through this together, and I know I kind of like went over all of the things, but the overwhelming amount of support that him and I have received the past 2 weeks is like literally over the moon. I think that both of us are, I know that both of us are extremely blessed, extremely fortunate to have the people that are in our lives. The amount of food that has been dropped off to us, the amount of offers that we have received.
Oh, we'd have a supermarket by now.
We literally would be sitting on enough and to last us until next year.
It makes you appreciate where you work and honestly all the good people
that
are in the city. So
the amount of love that we have received throughout all of this is just insane, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We not only thank all of you, but the doctors and the nurses that are working around the clock, literally putting your own lives at risk every single day. We thank the people that have to be working right now. We thank all of you so much, but we just want to know how you're doing, okay? You're not alone, and we want to be there for you. You can comment below if you would like, and I will try to answer every single person. You know, I know that he'll be answering as well. If you don't feel comfortable writing it in a comment section, you could always message me privately or even him privately and ask anything that I didn't cover. I think I tried to cover all the bases, but we're literally locked in the house till further notice. We got a lot of time on our hands. I promise you the next video's positive, fun, lighthearted. I got you. See you in the next one. All right.
Bye guys. Stay inside.
Yes.